Day, y'all, so it's a little bit different. We've got a proposed consent agenda that I'm going to go through first, but to highlight really quickly, we didn't have anybody sign up for public comment. I'm going to go through the proposed consent agenda first. And if you see anything that's on here, please let me know that if you want to get it pulled off. Item number 1, RS 2025-1511, a resolution accepting a grant from the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services to the Metropolitan Government for the state trial courts to provide Tennessee Highway Safety Office recovery court enhancements to supplement existing recovery court programs and services and/or implement new recovery court programs in unserved and underserved communities. Sponsors Toombs, Huffman, and Welsh. Item number 2, RS 2025-1512, sponsors Toombs, Huffman, Welsh, Hill, and Stiles, a resolution approving Amendment 2 to a grant from the Tennessee Office of Criminal Justice Programs to the Metropolitan Government acting by and through the Office of the District Attorney General to provide partial funding for 4 specialized victim witness coordinators to work with Spanish-speaking victims within the Crimes Against Children unit. Item number 4, RS 2025-1531, sponsors Toombs, Huffman, and Welsh, a resolution accepting a supported employment expansion grant from the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services to the Metropolitan Government acting by and through the Office of Homeless Services to provide staff to help promote individual placement and supported employment IPS/SE programs in the recovery of people who have serious mental illness through work. Item number 7, RS 2025-1535, sponsors Toombs and Huffman, a resolution accepting a community-based traffic study and safety enforcement and education grant from the Tennessee Highway of Safety Office to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department for community-based efforts that employ highly visible and sustained enforcement coupled with community outreach events to address impaired driving and other unsafe behaviors. Item number 8, RS 2025-1536, sponsors Toombs, Huffman, Welsh, and Hill, a resolution approving an agreement by and between Vanderbilt University and the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department for Vanderbilt to serve as the research partner for the Violent Crime Intervention Fund. And lastly, on the consent agenda, item number 9, RS 2025-1537, sponsors Toombs, Huffman, and Welsh, a resolution approving an application for a mental health transport grant from the Tennessee Office of Criminal Justice Programs to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department to assist in the transport of a person to a hospital or treatment resource for emergency mental health care. Does anyone need anything removed? Council Member Nash, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Could we pull number 9? I just have a question about who's going to be transporting the like.
Yep. Anybody else? Do I have a motion? Second? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Right. Getting into everything else that's not on consent. Item number 3, RS 2025-1530, sponsors Toombs, Huffman, and Welsh, a resolution appropriating a total of $355,200 from the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan Board of Health to United Neighborhood Health Services, Inc., DBA Neighborhood Health, Inc., and approving a contract by and between the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan Board of Health, and United Neighborhood Health Services, Inc., DBA Neighborhood Health, Inc., to provide homeless individuals with medical, dental, mental health, and substance abuse services at 2 or more clinics located in or near downtown Nashville. Do I have a motion? I'd just like to bring somebody up from Office of Homeless Services. I don't know if we have anyone from Neighborhood Health here, but if someone from Office of Homeless Services wants to come up.
Sure.
So go ahead and just state your name and position, please.
Sure. My name is Allison Cantway. I'm the Assistant Director of Planning and Research at the Office of Homeless Services.
Thank you. And it's a really good piece of legislation, and I'm a big believer that you need to highlight the good things that we're doing. So just curious if you could just give us an overview of what this covers and what this looks like for our unhoused neighbors.
Are you talking about the Neighborhood Health Grant?
Yes, ma'am.
That is not our department.
Didn't know if you wanted to speak to it, that's all.
Oh, no. I mean, we partner with Neighborhood Health all the time. Yeah, thank you. I'd be happy to. We fund them through the American Rescue Plan, but obviously those funds are sunsetting right now. They provide really critical work, and they send doctors and trained medical health professionals truly out on the streets to encampments. They go out there and provide whatever services they're able to. And if there are things that require them going into a facility, like if they need a scan, they'll be able to get them there and provide that free of cost. They even can do assessments and write prescriptions and then deliver medications to folks out on the street. I mean, it's truly important life-saving work because we know these folks that are living outside, they have unfortunately, a much diminished lifespan. And so services like this really help keep them alive.
One thing that I noticed within the document, the exhibit, it stated that this is going to roughly serve about 3,500 individuals. Just in your opinion, is that going to meet the current demand?
You know, that's hard to say, particularly because there are lots of question marks about funding for homelessness services moving forward. I very much doubt that would completely meet the demand, and particularly if some of those services for housing itself are cut off and there are more folks moving into homelessness, then it certainly would need to be supplemented.
Thank you. Anyone else have any questions for Ms. Canway while she's here? Thank you for that. Okay, we've had a motion to approve and a second already. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. We've got a couple of items that were deferred one meeting last evening, so just need to go through those and then just need someone to entertain the deferral motion. Number 5, RS 2025-1533, sponsors Toombs and Huffman, a resolution approving a Homeland Security Grant Program application from the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Office of Emergency Management to fund efforts to prevent, prepare for, protect against, and respond to acts of terrorism and other catastrophic events. So once again, I do need a deferral motion made on this. Do I have a second? All those in favor, aye. Oh, I'm sorry. 1 second. Councilmember Prepty, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Could you articulate for the committee the reason for the one meeting deferral?
Yes, and I believe, and Director Darby, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that the reason is the amount of the grant could potentially change. So we're just giving the fire department just a little bit of time to figure that out.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions? I'll renew my motion to defer. All those in favor, aye. Opposed, no. Okay. Item is deferred. Item number 6, RS 2025-1534, sponsors Toombs and Huffman, a resolution approving an Urban Area Study Initiative UASI grant application from the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Office of Emergency Management to fund costs related to enhancing security and the resilience of high-risk urban areas by building, sustaining, and improving capabilities prevented to prepare for, protect against, and respond to acts of terrorism. This is going to be deferred for the same reason, or needs to be deferred, I should say. So do I have a motion on that deferral? I have a second. All those in favor, aye. Opposed, no. Item is deferred. Let's see. Item number 9, RS 2025-1537, sponsors Toombs, Huffman, and Welsh, a resolution approving an application for a mental health transport grant from the Tennessee Office of Criminal Justice Programs to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department to assist in the transport of a person to a hospital or treatment resource for emergency mental health care. Councilmember Nash, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Could I ask Commander or Chief Gilder to who's going to be doing the transport? Who's the money going to? I know when I was in planning, meeting with the state mental health folks, they were always a little concerned about police cars transporting people, making people feel victimized maybe a little more. And I don't know if maybe this is a way to address some of that.
Deputy Chief, you'll just introduce yourself.
Sure. Chris Gilder, Metro Nashville Police Department. It's actually going to be our warrants division that will be handling it. The grant, though, requires, to the point you were making about, being in marked cars and whatnot, the grant actually requires them to be in an unmarked vehicle and to either not be in uniform or to be covered up. So to lessen that issue around stigmatization.
Any other questions? Need a motion to approve. I haven't done that yet. Second. Okay, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. All right, and we just have one additional item. BL 2025-1047 sponsors Coupin and Allen, an ordinance to amend section 9.20-020 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws regarding motor vehicle noise, and not to put the sponsor on the spot as he is just walking in, but I will recognize you, Councilmember Coupin.
Thank you, Chair. I was told it might be deferred, but we got a legal opinion back quickly, so I appreciate that. And so I would like to ask to move approval with a comment.
Okay, do I have a second on that?
So this is a bill that my colleague Tasha Ellis filed. Really appreciate her hard work on this. It addresses an issue that is prevalent in my district, and as I understand it, in other people's district, of noise from motor vehicles, unmuffled cars throughout the city. This bill would make it a violation if you are within a dwelling structure and you can hear that noise. And so it's something that is a step in the right direction. It is not, some folks have asked about enforceability. It's something that maybe on a one-off might be challenging to enforce, but globally it gives the police some tools to enforce and address it, and reminds folks that that's not permitted. So again, step in the right direction. I also have an amendment that would clarify that this doesn't apply to metro vehicles, emergency vehicles, anything that's contractually allowed by the metro government. So I'd also like to have the amendment moved, please.
Do I have anyone that would move Councilmember Coupin's amendment? Anyone that would second that? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. All right, now back to the piece of legislation as amended.
Would love to have someone move it as amended.
Now, anyone care to move that one? Yep, okay. Do I have a second? Okay, all those in favor say
Getting
aye.
nervous.
Oh, 1 second. Yep, Councilmember Weiner, you're recognized.
Thank you. I think it's a great piece of legislation. I have a question about two words: plainly audible. And I would love to know from Deputy Chief Gilder if he can talk to the difference between using the word plainly audible and a specific decibel level. The reason I ask is you've got hearing impaired and non-hearing impaired people. That perception is going to be different. And so insofar as this piece of legislation, I would just love to hear from them as to their take on the words plainly audible and its applicability or ability to be enforced or even addressed in any way.
Deputy Chief Gilder, you're recognized.
Sure. While I have not done, I've not seen that issue come up in court. I'll start with that. But what I would say is my reading on the ordinance would be that, most of the time when we're interpreting criminal statutes and whatnot, it's from the perspective of probably what a person who with average, ordinary hearing ability, if it's plainly audible to that person, I would say if it's plainly audible to the officer that's responded or is trying to take enforcement action and they can articulate that, whatever their hearing capabilities are, then I think it's probably met the threshold, and they would cite for that offense. And I think.
Member Weiner?
Thank you. I'm going to support it with the caveat that at some point, I bet this comes back.
Okay, we have Back to the sponsor, Councilmember Coopin.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you to my colleague for elevating that. There are certainly challenges in the noise code, both with decibels, as folks don't have decibel meters walking around, and then also plainly audible. My understanding, as I pulled it up very quickly, is that plainly audible is actually currently in that section of the code. So it's building off of what's already there, and it looks like there's a number of other examples of plainly audible being mentioned throughout the code. So totally understand the challenge. That is a challenge of enforceability with noise across the board, but it is coming from what's already in there.
Thank you. Councilmember Nash, you're recognized.
I know I was a policeman, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I know I was a policeman back in the dark ages, but we had a muffler law that we enforced on kind of a regular basis. And so I'm wondering what's been tweaked here from the current law.
Back to the sponsor.
Asking what's been tweaked from which?
The books for years.
So the tweak is that I'm gonna misquote the law as it is, but what this does is changes it such that if you are inside of a dwelling structure and you can hear it, it becomes a violation. So right now you have to be a certain distance away, which obviously is hard if I'm in my living room to measure a certain amount of feet away from a car from noise. And this simplifies that to if I'm in my living room and I hear unmuffled car noise going down the street, it's plainly audible inside my dwelling structure, and then it's a violation.
Councilmember Nash, any other questions from you?
No, thank you.
Councilmember Weiner?
One more quick question. Probably needs to be directed to the sponsor. If their windows are open versus closed to the structure that they are in, that's going to obviously be an issue. Is that addressed here?
Councilmember Coopin, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. I would imagine that might be a legal, I don't know if Special Counsel Darby would want to weigh in on that, but that starts to touch on the applicability of plainly at the code. Oh, he muted me. That was it. He was like, no more out of you. You just made Jeff's dreams come true.
The definition of plainly audible may apply here as well. The definition in the code is any sound which clearly can be heard by unimpaired auditory senses. However, words or phrases, and this obviously is not words or phrases, but words or phrases need not be discernible, and said sound shall include bass reverberation. So there's no distinction between open or closed windows.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Nash, you're recognized.
Yeah, I'm going to support the bill. We're in one of those areas where with pornography, we know it when we see it. We may not be able to explain it completely. Well, I can tell you, loud noise, we'll know it when we hear it, and we all do every day. And so I'm sure we can make this work.
Thank you, Councilmember Nash. Anyone else have any questions? Okay, so we already had a motion to approve as amended, and that was seconded. So we're going to move to the vote. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Okay, motion passes as amended. Oh, I'm sorry. Kimbrough's a no. We win one no. Thank you, Councilmember Kimbrough. All right, I think we've got that one straight now. Thank you all. So we were supposed to have a presentation today from the MNPD's Youth Services Division. We're moving that to April to coincide with Child Abuse Awareness Month. So no presentation today. The only thing I have in regards to my chair report is if you have not received a flu shot, and that goes for any of the members of this committee or anybody sitting out there, go get that done. Do yourself a favor. It ain't worth getting sick. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Second? Adjourned.